I am sick and tired of seeing business coaches all over the internet tell people that you need social media to promote your business. If social media marketing overwhelms you, then stick around to learn 4 low and no cost marketing strategies that you can use to start promoting your business today. That way you could generate leads for your new business fast without being a slave to current trends. Before we go ahead and dive right in for the very best advice on how to create both that business and lifestyle that helps you achieve the freedom and flexibility that you've always wanted, be sure to go ahead and tap that bell and hit subscribe so you get notified the next time a new video airs. Before starting my entrepreneur coaching practice, I had spent over 15 years as the third generation running my family's business. And in my tenure there, a large portion of the time that I spent was as the VP of marketing. It's safe to say that when the first 2 generations of my family was running the business, that social media didn't even exist yet. So the majority of the foundation that I know about marketing is in traditional tactics like radio or print ads. However, those tactics cost a lot of cash, and this is not something that our customers, because we're a wholesale distributor, so our customers are small businesses, that's not something that they had access to. So I spent a huge amount of time learning and investing time, money, and resources into figuring out low and no cost marketing strategies that they could leverage. Today, I'm sharing with you 4 of my favorite marketing tactics that, when used consistently, will bring you qualified leads as well as establish you as an expert in your field fast. My favorite low and no cost strategy, number 1, is networking. Networking is traditionally done in person, but it can be done online as well. Here's how it works. Basically, what you're doing is you generate leads by going out and proactively meeting people. Those people could be either your direct target client, so you hang out where they hang out and you introduce yourselves and let them know what you do and potentially land them as a client. Or better yet, you can make introductions to people who have access to your target client. So it could be somebody who's within your industry that works in a non-competitive business, and you guys can refer business to each other. So that's how networking works. I personally have a very unique way of doing networking that's very much a hybrid between the traditional in-person model as well as online, leveraging social media. And this is something that I teach extensively in my Validate Your Biz Blueprint program. All right, low and no cost marketing strategy number 2 is events. So events can be any place that you go out and you meet people in person or online. So they could be fairs, festivals, conferences, trade shows, association meetings, even Zoom summits, for example, or online summits. These all count as events that you can meet people at. Now, it used to be that events were all generally in person, but since the pandemic, online events are more common now than they ever were. So don't discount those as well. Now, if event selling is something that sounds interesting to you, know that it truly is an art form to learn how to do it the right way. It requires learning how to sell to people, not only face to face, but being able to sell to people who weren't necessarily looking for what it is you had to offer to begin with. So it really requires getting to know the person, having them like you on a personal level, and then being able to, in a way, talk to them about their problems so that you can position yourself as the solution. And it's not something that's necessarily very easy to do, but it is something that can be learned the more and more you work events and the more and more that you talk to people. Now, here's the best part. When events are targeted correctly, you have the ability to amass a large number of leads all in the span of one day, attending an event and speaking to people that are walking by your table or walking into a venue with you, right? So there's no better opportunity to meet a lot of people all at once than there is with events. So definitely don't rule it out and add it to your marketing strategy. So if these solutions so far are resonating for you, definitely drop me a comment below. Let me know, hell yeah, because then I know to create more of this type of content for you. I'm also happy to answer any questions you have about the strategies that I'm sharing. Okay, moving on. So low and no cost strategy number 3 is signage. So it could be signage, flyers, door hangers, any of the above. Now, one thing I did want to mention is this would be considered more of a low cost than a no cost strategy because it does require money and materials to create them. But it can be super inexpensive. You can go to a copy shop and make a bunch of flyers for pennies on the dollar, and you can cover a lot of ground getting them out there. So, signage and flyers could be anything from billboards, posters, door hangers, flyers. If it's printed and it's on a small sheet of paper that you can leave somewhere, it counts. And as I mentioned before, they are generally low cost and sometimes even no cost to distribute. So, some great ways that you could go about doing this, as just as an example, is if you have a flyer for your business, you could partner with another local business, let's say a pizza shop, where you give them a commission for every sale that you get for putting one of your flyers on their pizza boxes when they go out. So there's a lot of opportunity without needing to spend a lot of cash. Now, one thing to be careful about when it comes to signage and flyers is to make sure that you're observing your local laws, because here in the United States, it's actually a federal offense to put any kind of flyer in a mailbox without postage. So you don't want to be doing that. You want to use a door hanger instead. That's what they're designed for. You can leave it on the door for free. But either way, you want to make sure that you're adhering to your local laws and you're not out there stapling, signs to telephone poles and then you end up getting a summons or a citation. We don't want that. So check up on what local rules and ordinances are first before you start to distribute what it is you created. So the fourth favorite low and no cost marketing tactic would be leveraging press and the media. This includes everything from news outlets, blogs, TV programs and stations, podcasts, you name it. Anybody that has some kind of a content platform is somebody that you could partner with or you could provide content to, and they could share you with their audience. It's actually a lot easier to do than most people think. So one thing I did want to mention before, because folks prey on new business owners with this. If you're a new business owner and you get either an email or a DM from somebody who's promising you placement in a high profile publication like Entrepreneur or Yahoo or something like that, know that you don't have to necessarily pay for PR placement. Right? So, yeah, you can get better and faster PR placement by paying, but it is 1,000% not necessary. With a little bit of elbow grease on your own and going out there and pitching journalists and publications, you can get that placement yourself without having to pay a dime. One very easy way to do this, if you've never heard of it before, is join an outlet like Haro, Help a Reporter Out, HARO. So Haro is a service that you get an email however many times a day. They send them out, I think morning, afternoon, and evening. And they allow journalists to submit different topics that they're looking for experts to kind of speak about in an upcoming article that they're writing. So it's a really great way to connect with journalists in prominent publications, being an expert and helping provide them with the content that they need for their article. I've gotten many placements utilizing this service. And again, it's free. You just sign up, get the email, and then you just go out there and you pitch. Pitch a story, pitch that you're an expert. And there's no better way to generate social proof for your brand new business than getting some kind of a press or media feature. So it's something that you can share with your audience when you have an audience. Hey, I was featured on this podcast. Hey, I was featured in this newspaper publication, and it didn't have to cost you a dime. So to recap, my 4 favorite low and no cost marketing strategies that are great alternatives to social media. You've got networking. So just get out there, meet people. You want to meet your target client or meet people who can introduce you to your target clients. Number 2 is events. So that's actually going out to an event or meeting at an event online with the purpose of interacting with your target client to talk about your products and services. Flyers and signage are another great way locally to generate more business as well. And then last but not least, I also love press and media coverage. When you pitch your stories to the press and you get featured, Not only is it free, but it helps create the social proof that you need to generate leads and establish yourself as an expert in your industry really fast. Now, one quick thing to know is in order for any of these strategies to work, you need to be crystal clear. So you need to have clarity on who your ICA is, your ideal client avatar, so who exactly is your target client? And most importantly, where do they hang out? Because all these strategies that I mentioned today, while they're alternatives to social media, they do require you purposefully placing yourself in places where your client hangs out, whether it be a networking event, a in-person event, or even in PR placement. You want to make sure if you're pitching publications that they're publications that your target client actually reads. So figuring out your ICA and getting clarity with that, as well as doing research on finding out exactly where your target client hangs out. These are all topics that we cover extensively in my paid program, the Validate Your Biz Blueprint. If you're an aspiring or brand new entrepreneur who's overwhelmed by social media and would like to explore some of these alternative strategies shared in today's video, I'd love to invite you to book a call to see whether or not the Validate Your Biz Blueprint can help you achieve your business goals. Apply to book your call today by clicking the link below in the description. So don't forget to go ahead and check out these videos right here to learn more on how to market your brand new business. And if you like this video today, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. I'll see you next time.